Fellas, in this video, I'm going to fundamentally disprove why dating gurus, pickup artists, game gurus, why their advice does not work. Now, why am I qualified to give you this advice? Well, first of all, fellas, I've been in this space for literally longer than anyone else in this industry. So I've seen all the old guys, all the guys in the middle, all the new guys, and all the emerging guys. I've seen them all. I've seen them peak, then I've seen them go to zero. I've seen this all happen before. The second reason is, fellas, I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I'm using science to inform my opinion. Okay? With that out of the way, let me explain. Now, there's two big reasons why pickup artists, dating gurus, game gurus, why their advice doesn't work. The first reason, okay, is an evolutionary reason, right? But the second reason, fellas, and I'm going to take you through these each one by one, is a controversial and brutal reality, but it's also incredibly motivating and inspiring. Okay, so I'm going to start with number one. Now, to understand this, fellas, we have to first ask the question, well, game, PUA, pickup artists, all this bullshit, right? Remembering lines, all of this is effectively something we call posturing, right? Fronting. You are acting a certain way to increase her attraction. The key word here, fellas, is acting, right? Effectively, what you're doing, you are lying / manipulating her, right? That's what you're aiming to do. You're aiming to make her think you are this high status, high ranking, desirable man. If you look all the way back, if you dive all the way into the game, into the pickup artists, everything they do is to try and make women perceive them as high status, high value, and have the desirable traits that an actual high ranking, attractive man would have. It's all posturing, right? Now, the reason this doesn't work is because women have an exceptional capacity to read people and to read intentions, right? The key thing is, fellas, you have to understand this is not a human thing, right? Not all humans have this ability. Women have this ability in spades. They are significantly better at reading people than men are. And the reason for that is, fellas, I'm not going to go too deep into the science, but the reason women are exceptional at reading people is because if you go back a few million years ago, fellas, women had to develop this ability to read men, right? To read men to see if they really were about that life, right? If they really were that high status, big alpha monkey. Because you could have a man who could just sit there and lie and bullshit and make things up. Say, yeah, I'm this high status, high ranking alpha man. Come to my kingdom. It's a 10-minute walk away. Let me fuck you first, though. Right? And obviously he's lying. So women had to develop this. Women had to develop this capacity to read people, so they knew who was effectively good to have their children with, who was good to reproduce with, who had the good genes, who had the resources to support their children. That's what it's about, fellas. Right? So with the science lesson out of the way, let me explain this. Now, fellas, when you try to use game, or when you try to use pickup, or any bullshit like that, or when you try to use lines on her, she knows what you're doing, right? She knows. I speak to women all of the time, the women I'm dating and just women I'm friends with, right? All very attractive women. They tell me all the time, they instantly know what you're doing. Instantly. They know your intentions. They know you want to fuck. They know, and they won't show it, but they know, right? So when you like try and use some tactics, some dating guru, coach, pickup artist gave you, instantly alarm bells go off in their head. Alarm bells. Even if you're attractive, even if you're tall, whatever, alarm bells go off. Why? Because it's signaling to her, she gets a gut feeling that something isn't quite right here. Something isn't quite right here. There's something wrong with this guy, right? Effectively, like I said, fellas, they have an excellent capacity to read people. So what she's effectively doing is she's reading micro expressions, right? Subtle changes like in your vocal tonality, subtle body language cues, subtle facial micro expressions. But you don't need to know all this, but she's picking up cues subconsciously that make her think, yeah, there's something off about this guy. Okay. Now, fellas, the reason this is important, I'm going to give you two reasons. The first reason is the secondary reason. And the reason I'll give you afterwards is the main reason. Keep what I've told you in mind. As a man, if you felt like someone was trying to manipulate you, if you felt like someone was trying to convince you against your will or trying to deceive you into giving them something that was extremely sacred, extremely valuable, extremely personal, right? One of your possessions, something you really liked, something you really valued, how would you feel towards that person? Probably not very positively, right? Now, you're going to see how Forceps is getting to his point, right? Just give me a minute, fellas. This is all going to make sense. Now, put yourself in a woman's position. What you have to understand is, fellas, and this is not me being a sexist, misogynistic pig, women are significantly physically weaker than men. Well, we know this. This is not some This is not some controversial truth. No, women are significantly physically weaker than men. Meaning, if they let the wrong men around them, right? A man with bad intentions, right? An objectively bad person, a fucking scumbag, right? If they let a bad man around them and get alone with them, it could literally mean death for her. Worst case scenario, right? Like you could go into a serial killer or, you know what I'm talking about, right? So this is why women develop this. This is another reason why women develop this ability to read men. So when they think this guy's trying to deceive me, this guy's not acting naturally, there's something off about this guy, instantly they disqualify you because of these reasons. Okay? This is why game doesn't work. Now, fellas, we can't understand, as men, we cannot understand this because this may be useful for you to know, but men, male to female attraction, so how we feel attracted to females, initially at least, is not 90, it's 95% plus. I'd argue even close to 100% physical. The initial attraction, obviously not later, then that's based on traits, but initially it's almost all physical. So if we see a female we're like, yep, she looks good, let me fuck her. I want to date this woman just because of how she looks. It doesn't work like that with women, right? Because with us, we're like, if we take her back to our place or whatever, and we engage in enjoyable adult activities with her, what's she gonna do? She's not gonna kill me. She's not gonna. What's she gonna do? She weighs like 140 pounds or 120 pounds. What's she gonna do? I weigh 200. I weigh double what she weighs. Like she can do nothing, right? What I'm saying is, fellas, she has no capacity to inflict physical harm. She has no capacity to do any damage to me. So as men, we all know that, right? So we're like, yep, no problem. Come back to my place, whatever. But women, it's on the other foot, right? Like I said, if they get alone with the wrong man, it could literally mean death in the worst case scenario, right? And because of this reason, fellas, you're going to see how this is linking together. This is why women heavily screen men, right? Heavily screen them, right? So if any point in time she feels like you're not presenting your truthful, organic, honest, natural self, no matter even if you've done everything else right, nope. And you will remain in that bucket forever. It's once you're put in the bucket of creep, liar, manipulator, fake, you're in that bucket forever. No matter what, even if you do everything else right, you're in that bucket forever. Okay? As a separate note, fellas, this is why pre-selection, and for those of you who don't know what this is, I'll explain it in a second. This is why pre-selection is incredibly powerful. Basically, pre-selection is when women see you with other women, or women know that other women find you attractive. This, especially attractive women. Basically, what's happening, fellas, in her mind, other women have already done all the tedious process of making sure this guy's not a faker, not a serial killer, not a bad person, right? Not a person who's going to cause me harm. They've already ticked, because you're with this really attractive woman. If you're good enough for her, right, it's good enough. It's fine. You've ticked that box, right? Right. Anyway, that's reason one why dating, guru, coach, magician, sorcerer, wizard, whatever, all these people who make these massive claims and can't back them up. That's why you never ever want to get in the pickup artist industry, the game industry, the remembering line industries, because women instantly know. They know what you're trying to do. Right, now let me go to reason number 2. Okay, reason number 2. The reason why, other than the above, the other reason why this stuff doesn't work is because you are missing the big point. You are missing the big obvious thing, right? You're walking up to women, you're meeting women, you're whatever, and you're trying to use lines, right? You're trying to use techniques, but you forget the big thing. You don't have what she wants. Or not, sorry, you don't have. You're not what she wants. You are not what she wants. That's it. You haven't ticked the boxes, right? What you have to understand is, fellas, there's something I call the universal, this is a bit of a mouthful, the universal criteria of attraction. And basically, this is like a list of 27 bullet points or a 27-step checklist, which includes every single thing that a man is required to have to be attractive. If a man had all 27, he would be what we call a 10.0 out of 10, a perfect score male, perfect attractiveness. Most men are not going to have this. So that the fewer you have, the lower you are on the scale. What you have to understand is, fellas, even though this is brutal, women score men. They rank men. They rank you on a simple scale, 0 to 10. Right? Very objective. Mostly women do this unconsciously. They're not going to consciously be sitting there and say, yeah, this guy is a 7.5 out of 10 because he has 22 out of the 27 things on Forsop's checklist. No, they're not doing that, right? It's all unconscious. Okay? The key thing is, fellas, you cannot make women like you for who you are. You have to change. You have to become what they want. Right? That's why you can use lines, you can use techniques, you can use approaches, you can use dating app strategies, whatever, and they don't work because you're missing the big obvious thing. You are not what they want. Big thing. By the way, fellas, I'm creating a new advanced channel, a new advanced YouTube channel. It's going to be totally free. And the goal of that channel, fellas, is to provide more value for free than everyone else in this industry's paid products. So their courses, their programs, their methods, all that fucking bullshit that they charge thousands of dollars for. I'm going to give you more value for free in this new advanced channel. One of the first videos on that advanced channel is going to be walking you through this universal criteria of attraction. Right, I'm going to take you through A to Z, like the entire click to close, so to speak. Everything that a man needs to have to be maximally attractive to women. So I'm going to be doing a really deep dive on that. And if you're interested in that new advanced channel, it should be in the link in the description, the new channel there. Hopefully. Anyway, another key thing you have to understand is, fellas, why these dating strategies don't work is, linking with this point, is women only date up. They only date men higher in value than them. they will never, ever in a million years date someone they perceive as lower value than them, right? If they do, if you ever see these relationships, it's usually because the woman is manipulating / exploiting that man for something else. It may be resources, money, attention, I don't know. But it's impossible for her to feel attracted to you if she perceives you as lower than her. So how do you actually increase the value? Well, you have to develop yourself, fellas. And what you have to understand is, fellas, this is totally in your control. You can become what women want, right? I do have a video coming out on this channel soon, which will basically tell you how to do that. It should be titled something like How to Actually Become Irresistible to Women. And it will take you through the high level look at how to actually increase your mate value. Right, so that's the key, fellas. You have to become what women want. If you aren't what women want, it's impossible. You can do all the tactics, all the game strategies, all the pickup lines. It will not work. So they're the two reasons, fellas. The first is she thinks you're manipulating her. She thinks you're lying. She thinks you're deceiving her. So she instantly disqualifies you. She instantly puts a massive, big red cross on you no matter what you do. And the second reason is, fellas, you're missing the big obvious thing, which is you are not what she wants, right? You're low. She perceives you as lower value than her. You haven't become the type of man that is actually required to be attractive. Fellas, if you want to get my advanced paid system, which basically teaches you A to Z, step by step, complete click to close, 100% leave nothing, female psychology, body language, high status body language, vocal tonality, the exact words to say, when to say them, how to say them, how to make a woman obsessed with you, all of this bullshit, the exact mindset I have to generate maximum attraction in women, all the beliefs, all the traits, all of that bullshit. It's obviously paid. If you want to buy that, you can click the link in the description and go to the page and buy it. If you don't. Fellas, I will see you in the next video, I think.